Hey, everyone. What's going on? And it's me, your host with the most, the man who rules the East Coast, the beat of the beat, Boston bad boy Jason Rumble. And as always, I have a great panel of astute guests, but they're really not guests because they're more like brothers because they're here every week with their great insight. As you know, we are streaming live on Facebook, through Twitch, and also on YouTube. So, without any further ado, let me bring in to you first the man who's still bedridden. Hopefully, he'll be out of that thing in the next week or two. The most comfortable man on the face of this earth, Mr. AJP, Adam Jack Pelly. How's things going tonight, there, Sidewalk?
I'm all right, brother. One more week and I'll be home. I get to put some weight on this ankle on Friday. So the move home starts next Friday.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. All right. And at this time, I would like to bring in the APOC, the man right now. A week ago, I told you the Yankees and Red Sox would be neck and neck and tied for wild card position, baby.
They're not neck and neck.
Yes, they are. The Red Sox just won. Yankees lost, buddy. They're tied for the wild card. Look it up.
Okay, whatever.
Woo! So, all right. What do I tell you every year? If the Yankees and Red Sox ain't in it, what does baseball to you and me matter? Correct?
Wait a minute. Do you have a Tampa Bay jersey and hat on, you freaking bandwagon clown?
It's called Tom Brady, and without Tom Brady, the Patriots would have the past 20 years, buddy.
So Rumble has turned me into a New England sports fan. That's because I've known him for so long. But when I was a kid, I woke up to Joe Carter hitting the home run in the ninth inning.
Dan Bellevue, I want to say what's up. He's here on. He keeps on hitting us up. He said, "Fuck, good, bup. I'm a Brady fan. I'm not a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Tomorrow during the game, I will be rocking my number 10 Mac Jones jersey during the game, hoping for them not to get that beat down."
So, I want to guarantee that Roman Reigns will be drafted to Raw. Wrong again.
You love it. I knew you couldn't wait to do that.
Was that Forbesy or Chris?
That was fucking
no.
Kazoo.
I love Brady to Jeff, just not for 4 quarters. Well, if he was for 4 quarters for us, I would. But anyways.
No Gronk either.
What was he there? What was your question there, Pelly?
Was that Forbesy that said that, or was it Chris?
No, that was Capelli.
I guarantee it. I'm going on the record now.
Not for nothing, but the way that the USA Network has it, it's come out more and more in the past few days.
They're not happy.
That they are not happy. So I'll be honest with you. With the Gazoo saying that, Gazoo could have been right online, and maybe.
But there's no way Fox is giving up Roman Reigns, man.
No, I said that all along.
No, and they got Charlotte Flair now.
Yep.
But
something's going to happen. They're going to make USA happy.
But the storyline's going to continue with Paul Heyman going to Raw next Monday night.
Yes.
You know Brock Lesnar's showing up to try to get Paul Heyman back by his side.
Yep.
I think what's going to happen is you're going to see the Usos drafted to Raw, and it's going to leave Roman Reigns to the Essential Wolves.
Yeah, but I got a feeling that a few people are going to come out of the woodwork to help Roman Reigns. I think they're going to make the bloodline a lot bigger than it is.
I can see to that. Listen, I think everything's been. I thought Monday night was a good product.
It actually was pretty good. What I watched, I've been working 14-hour days. So
I was kind of disappointed with NXT this week.
NXT was. Yeah, I didn't like the ending.
Yeah, I didn't really catch the ending again.
I didn't think the women's match was. I didn't think the women's match was worthy of being the main event.
The women's tag match was all right.
Yeah, but there wasn't this week the singles with I thought it was ended with the singles of
no, that's next week.
the world championship title was on the line with Johnny Nitro's girlfriend.
Oh,
Yes,
no,
that
that
yeah,
was.
And I didn't think
that
what?
wasn't no. I didn't like that either.
I didn't. And that's, I believe, the way the show ended.
She's the shits, Frankie Monet.
She's not that good, man.
They only signed her because who she's married to.
Yeah.
But I thought one of the better matches of the whole week. Forgive me for not seeing all of AEW, but I really enjoyed Adam Cole and Jungle Boy.
Yes. They said that match was going to be off the hook good. But there's a lot of people out there not liking this week's product for AEW.
Nope.
I didn't catch Friday Night Rampage. I'm not going to lie. This was the first week I watched 2 hours of SmackDown just because I wanted to be into the draft and I wanted to see the direction on how things were going to point. And thus far, it's not disappointing at all.
Yep. Do you like the NXT call-ups? Like, I like the Austin Theory call-up, and I do kind of like Hit Row. Hit Row will work on mainstream television.
Hit Row is going to work. Hit Row is going to work huge on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because that just shows me that the Street Profits are going to Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
They're going to work big time.
Yep.
They pulled Drew McIntyre over to SmackDown.
I love it. I love that because I think McIntyre and Roman Reigns becomes a great type of feud.
Yeah. Well, after he's done with Lesnar.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. It was interesting to see that there was no Fiend ringside at AEW on Wednesday night.
I don't even think he's going to sign with AEW.
Really?
Yeah. The last rumor I heard is that they're not willing to give him full control.
I don't see why they would not be willing.
They're afraid of, from what I read, and again, it's just rumors, and I'm gonna leave it when I see it. But from what I read is that they're afraid of his wild ideas that he wants to do.
Man, I'm getting a lot of flack for my Tampa gear. I love it. See, I don't even have to say a word to be a heel. I'm going to find out who's saying this. I believe it's Rochi.
Is it Rochi?
Yeah, it's got to be, yes, it is. Mr. Mike Rodriguez, Rochi himself. Rochi, if Bray went to AEW, how would you guys debut him? Oh, that's a great one. Let us get back to that real quick, Mr. Dan Bellevue.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the great way to debut him would have been Wednesday night.
Without a doubt.
Brody Lee's home, Rochester.
Yep.
And would he come out to lead the Dark Order right away, or to work into it?
I think if they were going to debut him, if he opted out of his 90-day clause, he would have been the leader of the Dark Order. But
right out of the gate. The gate.
Him not opting out of his clause is telling me that he's still talking to them.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Trying to keep these next 30 days alive. Betcha. Yep. Because maybe that could be a huge reason. Now, this is incredible that we say this, because October 21st is the Saudi Arabia deal. The 22nd is when the official quote unquote roster switches over for the first official night of SmackDown having their roster, and then the 26th would be Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Very interesting that it would be 3 days before the 90-day clause that quite possibly could Monday Night Raw, could that be the return of one Bray Wyatt?
Well, if they want to make USA happy, and I can guarantee you that USA's putting the screws to them to get him back, I would see that happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Hangman Page isn't the Joker next week, he will be it. What do they mean? Tristan, can you get into that a little bit?
Their Battle Royal gimmick. That Battle Royal gimmick they do.
Okay. Okay.
Isn't it, Mike, the Battle Royal gimmick they do?
Yeah,
The-
the casino battle royal.
Casino Battle Royal. Okay.
Well, it's actually the ladder match. What is he saying? If Hangman isn't the Joker next week, he will be it. Dude, Bray Wyatt's not coming, if he comes at all, to October 29th. He had his opportunity to opt out. He's not opting out. So just get that out of your head, you mark.
Now.
I had a point I wanted to get across here tonight. I don't know if you guys will agree.
Yep, go ahead.
Monday nights, WWE. Is there some sort of competition with Monday Night Football? Like, will people watch football instead of watch wrestling? Because if AEW has their own night without football. So if you ran AEW on Monday nights, they wouldn't get the ratings they're getting.
I don't watch Monday Night Football because I'm in bed usually by 10 o'clock because I work at 4:30 in the morning. So I don't know. Jay, that would be all you.
I think Monday Night Football, depending on what the matchup is, would have the rating. That's first and foremost. The mistake Monday Night Football makes is it's not an adjustment game. The first 3 games of the year should technically be that's what they are. And then once they start to see the season unfold to get the ratings, that should be the marquee Monday night game. That should be it. But unfortunately, the NFL has never really done that. They've done it more towards the Sunday night schedule, where they've made that later on in the season the flavor of the week, so to speak. So
But I'm just saying, like sometimes, like
I like Dan.
WWE.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Dan Bellevue. I'll agree with that right there. Monday Night Football is not the same on ESPN. Very agreed. But Dan, there's a very, very entertaining aspect of ESPN2 with the Manning brothers. It's very entertaining. If you want to be entertained, listen to the Manning brothers on how they go about the game. Very interesting. A lot of people have liked their input.
Yeah, but wrestling might lose like 15 to 20,000 people on a Monday night to Monday Night Football.
Yeah, Roachy, I agree right there, buddy. With the Bray wouldn't probably be joining till Full Gear.
Yeah.
The Manning cast is great. That's right. I love it. Now, we got some live people out there. Understand this. I'm representing Tom Brady. I'm not a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Number one, without Tom Brady, there would be no of the best 20 years in pro sports. That the 20 years of the New England Patriots dominance actually influenced 3 to 4 of our local teams, such as the Bruins, the Celtics, the Red Sox, and even the Revolution, to be part of that, to make New England the top sports teams in the United States. It's the top.
Dude, in the world. Yep.
So I'd have to disagree to anybody who thinks I'm a jerk for wearing this gear right here. Tom Brady, I'm recognizing him. Like I said, I'll be wearing my Mac Jones stuff tomorrow at 8:20, hoping for the best. Hoping that Tom Brady's horse that he's been, if you look at him and heard his past couple of press conferences, I wouldn't be surprised if he tests for the COVID 19 there the day of the game as he enters Foxborough.
Well, Gronk is hurt, so he won't be playing.
JPP's hurt too.
Antonio Brown's back though.
Who cares? Gronk is where it's at, man. That's what makes Brady run. But yeah, who can cover Brown? We'll see. Jason, I agree. Just won't wear it this week. Buddy, it's Saturday night. Like I said, tomorrow, my brand new blue, I've already worn it a few times. My blue Mac Jones jersey will be on. I was hoping that for this week, because they are, they're recognizing Julian Edelman, or I think they did that last week. I got the alternate gray Patriots, Julian Edelman, on its way. Can't wait to get it. So, anyways, what are some other hot topics that happened in this week other than the draft?
Did you guys see Dark Side of the Ring? Because I heard Tony Atlas would talk about a lot about it. I never saw it.
I wouldn't be too surprised if this is the last Dark Side of the Ring, because they're blowing up the wrestling world in a very bad way. The past 2 episodes have been damaging to Ric Flair, especially.
I'm going to be honest with you. I really didn't think this week's episode was all that. That Japanese death thing.
Yeah. I mean,
I fell asleep.
I watched most of it, and then, like I said, the Hayabusa thing.
Yeah,
that was like the worst part to watch. You know what I mean? Him missing that moonsault and spiking his neck, and then 10 years later, able to get up and walk to the ring, and then a week later he passes away.
Yep. That was about the most interesting point, but I didn't see how do I put? I guess I just didn't see the value on me really absorbing myself into the subject after coming away with 2 hugely interesting episodes. You know what I mean? And not for nothing, the one episode with Flair the week before, it was a main scene of that heel show that's on Stars.
Was the whole episode about Bruiser Brody?
That was a year. That was 2 years.
That was
ago.
a year ago.
Oh, I thought that was this week's.
No, that's an old one.
They're just throwing stuff out there to fill slots. The whole, like the Chris Canyon one,
Yes,
and then we talked about this last week with Chris Canyon, and then the one before that with Flair. I mean, it's damaged Flair to the point where no one's going to touch him. Like NWA doesn't even want to work with him anymore. He's been pulled from his commercials have been suspended. I feel bad too because at 72 years old he needs money because all the money that he made through his wrestling career he has blown.
Yeah, it's not like Vince can do anything with them.
No, well, Vince won't touch him. Vince pulled him from all the TV spots they had him on.
Yeah, you don't even hear the don't. Woo! Yeah, I noticed that. That I noticed. Yeah, I just, like I said, when you have 2 barn burners like you have, you know what I mean? I believe that, in all honesty, you hit us with Ric Flair's, then you give us Canyons, and then this. I'll just be honest with you. Other than watching the sadness of that man do that moonsault, and I mean, I'm not one. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I've never done a moonsault. Is because of the fear. But I think that, and if you hear me out, I know that it's easy for me to say by watching. As soon as he felt his head slip, what in God's green earth made him think that he was going to flip backwards? And he turned his head thinking that.
Well, it wasn't even his head slipped. If you watch the spot itself,
yeah,
the ropes were loose to begin with.
Yeah. So
when he hit that second rope, the rope went right down to the bottom. There's no way he was getting sprung off that rope.
Yeah.
So
I feel bad.
There was a couple of guys in AEW that are from New England this week. Did you guys catch their match?
Yeah, Anthony Green and
Bear Country
and Jora Jora.
Yep. Isn't that Robo?
Yeah.
Okay. Why would the name change, Mike?
Because that's what they want him to use. Because now that he debuted on Dynamite, he's probably not going to be around the Indies much longer because they want to get into the Indian market.
Yep.
So if they don't sign him to a full deal, I can almost guarantee WWE will scoop him in 2 seconds.
I think Anthony Green looked like they jobbed him out.
Yeah. But again, he got to take bumps from Sting. So I mean,
Robo has the look, Dan Bellevue. So Dan, what was the week topic, if you don't mind me asking?
he was probably talking about the FMW.
Okay, yeah. It wasn't as captivating. Those past two were man, how wrenched did they get you in? Like incredible. If the WWE, yeah, I get you, dark side of the ring, yes, sir. If the WWE was to pull anything out of the hat, the biggest thing they realistically can pull out of the hat right now, because everybody's signed, is the Fiend is the top free agent in professional wrestling, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then hearing how people think that Sasha Banks could want to go to AEW, I don't see why. I think that they're going to put Steen back on top. Go Patriots! That's right.
Yeah, I don't know what clowns are saying that Sasha Banks is going to AEW, because she's not.
Yeah, Dan, I don't watch much AEW, Doc. I watch the main programs, basically, the things that are on TV, so to speak. I'm not a real I'm not a real stream type of person, in my opinion. There you go, Dan again. I like this guy, man. I like you, Dan. I like what you have to say here. I know who you are, but I'm just saying, Dan. I like the aspect of the participation, so to speak, in the wrestling talk this evening. In his opinion, wherever Bray would sign, it would be wise if they let him be on the creative. I agree 110%. I think there has to. I don't think that a person should always be in full control, because there's always that one person that could actually is there for the hindsight. You know what I mean? So that you're really not. You get that other aspect and look. But
I think if he goes anywhere, it's going to be TNA, because they're willing to give him creative control.
What could he make his character that he's not like? If he goes elsewhere, what could he make his character possibly that Vince ain't gonna sue him?
That's why it'd be so easy. It'd be so easy for him to join the Dark Order, because you can blend his former character. Yes, you could. Right.
I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I don't really think he's going to end up in AEW. I really don't.
But I'm just saying, like, it'd be so easy to blend his old character into the Dark Order and have some sort of like dark presence like he used to have. It'd be an easy.
I agree with that, but you also have to
changeover.
You have to also understand how vindictive Vince is. Anything that any relativeness towards the Fiend or Bray Wyatt or any of that, he'll get a cease and desist or he'll get sued.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Rochi, it was supposed just rumors and innuendos on who was disappointed backstage at WWE, and one of the persons that has been quite disappointed in her WWE use, and it's been public knowledge. It's great to know that she thanks Vince every day on Twitter. It was just speculated that if her contract was to come up, that quite possibly she could be on the move to AEW.
Her contract was up. She re-signed. That's why she was gone for so long.
Okay, that's good to know. That's all I mean. It was suspect and innuendo. It was a rumor.
Just like everybody thinks that Kevin Owens is going to not resign and go to AEW.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens loves the fact that he's a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
He's a Canadian, and Canadians look at that like playing hockey for the Montreal Canadiens.
Right.
Yeah.
You can wrestle for any other company, but wrestling for the WWE there, eh? And wrestling for Vince McMahon, eh? Is like that's the thing. They want that. Canadians love that, especially the ones from little villages.
Yeah. But I also, and then you hear about Gargano. His contract is up in December. Well, he's going to resign because his wife is pregnant, and he's got stability in WWE.
Yep. I think if Triple H really does go right Raw, I believe Gargano is one of the next draft choices Monday night to go to Raw with Austin Theory.
You're going to see a lot of the NXT from Black and Gold, like the people who I think are ready to come up. You're going to see them go up because they're trying to bring all the new talent that they have signed into the picture. I said it's that sink or swim.
Yep.
I would say look for Carmelo Hayes to challenge Swerve in the next week or so for the North American title and win it.
Yep.
Because they got brought up.
Interesting. Does a guy like Tommaso Ciampa take the risk? I'll go to the main roster, or does he?
Doesn't. He's already stated that he does not want to go up because of his injuries.
Okay.
It's not that he doesn't like being on the main roster. It is the fact that his injuries, he's worried about his neck and his knees. He would rather retire than go up to the main roster.
So that's safe to say that a guy like Tommaso would have no look or no interest in taking an AEW deal, you think?
No, I don't think he would. I really don't think Tommaso will go to.
I like what Rochi just said. He thinks Tommaso is a NXT lifer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, that ain't Rochi. It's Tristan Cropsey. Tristan, all of a sudden, like, it's weird how some people's names come through. I think those are the ones who go through and legitimately log in and go through the thing so that we know who their name is. But yeah, man, I can agree with that. I think of Tommaso as a lifer, and I also think of Tommaso as a guy that when he retires has a job, will have a job in the Performance Center as a future coach.
Yep. Tommaso Ciampa, when he cut that promo at the beginning of when NXT 2.0 began, he cut that promo at the beginning, and it showed that he's the leader of that company, and he'll lead it for many years to come.
Yeah.
And as you said,
go ahead, Pelly.
And as you just said, Rumble, when his time has come, he'll be teaching those kids in the Performance Center.
Yep.
He'll have a job there.
He will. And Mike will attest to this. The Chaotic Boys, because of Hollow, they have a firm grip in that WWE and are very well respected. Kofi, Todd, a.k.a. Iva, along with Tommaso, those three have been with the WWE, believe it or not, even though Todd and Tommaso signed later on, they have been with the WWE basically for 20 years. Or 15 years, at least 17 years. Since at least 2003 to 2004, they've been in the WWE.
Yeah, because they've been used in different aspects of either being enhancement talent or doing matching skits.
Have a good night.
Yes.
Every time they would come to WWE, come to Boston, they would definitely be used.
And Stephanie herself grew a real huge fond relationship with a lot of the guys from Chaotic. One being Arch Kincaid. Arch wasn't even wrestling for 2 years, and he was still welcome backstage and would help out during the training.
Yep.
So that's another reason why that's why I believe the Viking Raiders of life is.
Yeah, they're not going nowhere.
Todd's another one. Todd's back is broke. He's had fusion. Now he's had it on his neck.
Yeah.
Him, Then mark my words, it's going to be him and Tommaso will be two of the head trainers in 5 years at the Performance Center.
This is where you die.
They might change the title. They might.
I can see a title change, although I mean, it's also the fact that I'm digging Roman Reigns holding this belt. And honestly,
he's going to surpass Punk's record, and then he'll drop it to either McIntyre or Lesnar.
And I like the fact of I want to see what Roman Reigns could do if possibly the Usos aren't on the same product. I'm interested in this storyline.
Would they bring another Fatu to back Roman up, like Mike said?
Listen, I'm just saying this is the most interesting, legit storyline in any company. Like AEW doesn't. AEW's main storylines, legitimately right now, are dream match scenarios.
Yeah, they're not. They're what they're doing right now is they're doing, and I'll said it before and I'll say it again. They're doing super indie booking. That's what they're doing.
They're giving you the matches that Vince McMahon couldn't.
Right.
Maybe that's the positive aspect about having writers that write stories.
Well,
maybe that's the positive, but I'd rather have
the
wrestlers
only stories that are going on in AEW. Look at it. Is the people who have been non-established before going to AEW. Those are the storylines. Other than Miro, he's probably a veteran with the storyline. Malachi Black has a basic storyline. But if you look, Daniel Bryan ain't got a storyline right now.
Nope. He's picking a fight with the elite. That's
yes, but it's not an in-depth. Like it ain't nothing compared to. Like the second best storyline in wrestling right now was Seth Rollins last night going into the House of Edge. That reminded me of Brian Pillman, Stone Cold Steve Austin without the gun.
Did you see what Edge tweeted out?
No,
he called the FTR to go to his house. They're on their way back. Yep.
That was the two names.
Yep. He used their real names.
I love the look for Brock. Yeah, brother. Yeah, Tristan, I agree. I like the look with Brock right now. I was waiting for those two horns to poke him in the stomach last night while he was wrestling, though. Yeah, wrestling's been good, man. I thought this week was a great week of wrestling.
I love Brock's new look. It fits him. He's actually being himself.
Yep. Yes.
He had a decent little promo, but he needs Paul Heyman.
Here he is, the great Gazoo himself. What's up, brother? I'm disappointed that your fruition did not come true, but it's great to have you in the chat group.
Hey, what's happening, boys? Yeah, it didn't come through. I really thought it would. I think it's a fucking mistake, to be quite honest with you. I think you're putting too much on Big E to try to take Raw and run with it, but
see what happens. They're going to keep the Hurt Business there, though.
Yeah, I did hear. I read it today. The USA Network is pissed off at Vince McMahon.
Yep, I read that article too.
Yep,
it's not good in USA land. That's for sure. They're not happy at all.
Nope. I read that they're not happy with Vince, and so was in Fox. Vince is trying. I would only assume Vince is trying to appease Fox by keeping Roman Reigns on Fox.
Yes.
Because and giving him Charlotte too.
Yeah, because Fox wasn't happy. But if Charlotte goes to Fox, that means Becky's going to SmackDown. I mean, Becky's going to go to Raw, which tells me Seth is probably going to Raw because they're not going to break the two of them up.
Right.
Exactly, because that's where Edge is headed anyways, is to Raw.
Edge headed to Raw, yep.
Did Bianca Belair get drafted to Raw?
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right, so
Which
the Street
means-
Profits will go
Three
to them.
profits. Yep.
Which
yep,
means
yep,
Street Profits are going to Raw. Which means Street Profits feud with the Hurt Business.
Yep.
The writing's on the wall. I think they're going to break up Omos and AJ on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it coming. A lot of people are predicting an AJ going back to SmackDown and eventually feuding with Roman. He's going to need somebody after Drew McIntyre.
Yes, I agree. I think AJ getting the title in his last year too to get a last run.
Yeah.
I think that I can see that happening.
I got to tell you, I haven't been on the last couple of weeks. I'm not thrilled with what I'm seeing right now. I mean, just again, seems like it's not good writing. It's reactive writing. They're everything. A lot of the decisions seem very reactive to the recent AEW moves. And don't get me wrong, I get why they did the Big E thing. That it brought up morale and stuff, but it's not gonna. Big E's not gonna be the guy to carry the torch. The way Roman is. If they're gonna have two world champions, they need two guys that can run and carry the torch.
I think Edge is getting that. I think Edge is going to get that belt within 6 months, Capelli.
I definitely think Edge gets a run with it at the end, but I still think my
Should.
prediction will come true. Riddle's going to win the 2022 Royal Rumble. But I think it'll be Riddle and Roman at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's already kind of planted the seed with the Twitter shit that he put out.
Well, Randy Orton's in big doo-doo.
Huh?
Randy Orton's in big doo-doo.
Yeah, what happened?
He failed a wellness test. Big time.
Oh, he failed the wellness test. Okay, I didn't know if it was a COVID thing.
Nope. Failed
They
the
just said he
wellness
was
test.
unfit
They actually pulled him off the Raw website completely.
Really? That sucks.
What, for the Jesus?
Of course, for the Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who's playing
I
music?
I just maybe thought it was drugs or something. Maybe it was snorting some cocaine or something.
Who's playing music in the background?
I'm watching Snake Eyes. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's fucked up. I mean, that's his own stupidity. Really, if you think about it, it's dumb.
Yeah.
So now
Kills
they got to
the
figure out. They got to figure out how to get those tag titles off of them because from what I understand, he's suspended for 60 days.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
It's not as. It's his. I think the first offense is 30, but is this a second offense?
This is his third attempt at the Jesus.
I think this is multiple.
But I think it resets after so many years. Who knows?
Well, they don't drug test in AEW.
No.
Half the roster be gone.
So rumor has it Brian Cage could be one of the first AEW guys to jump ship to WWE. How do you think Brian Cage, the Machine, would fit in the WWE?
Why wouldn't he? He's right up Vince's alley.
I just said that. I'm just asking. How do you think he would fit?
6'4", 6'6", juiced out of his mind. Of course, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect for Vince.
They'll give him a big push too.
Yeah, dude. Probably, I don't know. Vince, hey, listen. You know what? Vince is single-handedly ruining his company because he's trying to go back to those old antics. It's his own doing, man. The product just isn't a great product to look at right now.
I thought this past Monday night, and I thought this past Friday were great programs.
Over good programs, but still not to me. It's the overall product. I mean, it's got to be consistent. I mean, he's done one or two, but again, it's all reactionary because of what's going on in AEW, because they know what's coming.
It should be reactionary. He should react that, oh shit, my product sucks, and let me put something good on.
But see, Jay, unfortunately, long term, if you're reacting and trying and changing stuff because of another company, then that means you're losing ultimately in the end.
He is.
That means
he is losing. He is losing.
He's losing.
Because he is losing. And it may not be ratings, but he's losing respectability by the fans. He's losing respectability by every former employee that picks to come out and talk trash about the company.
But they tell you with this smoke, this fight, they're all talking trash because it's the shits. And I think you got people coming out that are pretty much saying, hey, the guy doesn't have it all together. And he's not doing good by the people that are there. And he's being led down a road by a fucking circus.
Well, hopefully the rumors that I've heard are that Triple H will be taking over Monday Night Raw as soon as he returns.
Believe it when I see it. It's Monday Night Raw, brother. That's Vince's show.
I understand
Believe
that.
it when I see it.
I'm just telling you, this is one was just a rumor I heard that's where Triple H is going. Triple H is going to Monday Night Raw.
Speaking of rumors and things that are on the internet and things that have been discussed lately, how's about Shane McMahon being done with the company? There's a lot of he is, he isn't, he is, he isn't.
I saw he's running a cannabis company.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to be done with the company because isn't he like a stockholder? Unless he sold his shares.
He's a McMahon.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to be done with the company. I just think that
he's a stockholder of Amazon, but that doesn't mean you're part of Amazon. You could be you own stock in their company,
right?
But that doesn't mean he has any type of a job, as it were. I think it would be great is if Shane did leave, it showed up on AEW. That would be fucking awesome. That would be awesome.
I think that would kill me. I think that would kill Vince. I think Vince would have a heart attack.
Yeah, Vince would not like that too much.
No, but it's you talk about the business. Did you happen to notice an AEW reference with Edge the other night?
Yeah, we just brought this up.
Talked about that.
You guys just talking about it? Yeah, I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
That's because their contracts are up at the end of the month and they're not resigning.
Yeah, but I don't see them coming back. They weren't happy here. I can see them going to Japan, but I can't see them coming back here. Not them. Not after. I mean, they practically begged to leave the fucking place.
Yeah.
Yep. But then you go to the other side of that pasture and you find out the grass isn't always greener, that quite possibly they had it better here.
No, they had it better over there. I just don't think that. I think AEW is a better place to be especially if you're a tag team. But WWE is where tag teams go to die, unless you're the New Day or unless you're the Street Profits or the Usos. That's it. And if you notice, there's a common denominator between all three of them. And I'm not going to say it, but there's a common denominator there.
Say it.
No, we'll leave it at that.
Chicken shit.
If you look at, let's put it this way, it's related to Crayola. But it's true. It's not meant to be in a bad way, but it's common denominator. But if you look at every other tag team, and there's been some good ones, nope. See you later. Break them up, shit them up, or do nothing with them. If I was a tag team, I would not want to go to the WWE. Especially if I was a tag team in the Indies right now that had some like the Briscoe brothers. If they ever gonna go mainstream, I wouldn't go AEW. I wouldn't go to WWE.
The Briscoes need to go AEW.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's some tag teams in WWE they could be pushing heel tag teams. I think they're trying to, but they're not. Like Ziggler and Bobby Roode push those guys as heels. You know what I mean?
They did, and they wasted it. So it's done. Like I said, WWE does not. They do not know. Vince does not like tag teams. He hasn't since the mid-90s. The days of the tag teams died with Demolition, the Bulldogs, and that was the last real generation, Legion of Doom. Ever since then, the tag team division has been about 2 tag teams, and that's it. Whether it's been the New Day, the Usos, DX, that was it, really. That was it, if you think about it. Tag teams really, during the Attitude Era, tag team wrestling died.
Okay. It was more
For the
faction.
WWE and the WWE
It became faction related during the Attitude Era to a certain extent.
to a certain extent. Yeah, it really was. But I mean, you still had the Dudleys at least. You know what I mean? During the
Edge
Attitude
and
Era,
Christian, the
you had
Hardy Boys.
You had Edge and Christian. But again, 3 or 4 tag teams, that's it. Versus you go back in the late 80s and the 90s, you had LOD, Demolition, Powers of Pain, fucking Bulldogs, the Hot Foundation. You had
The
you had
Rougeaus.
the Rougeaus, the Mounties. You had all these fucking tag teams.
Well done.
You know,
Well done.
Pan Am Connection, Strike Force. But it's dead. They don't know how to write for it. And they have great tag teams. You know, they got, you know, Todd and fucking Eric. You know, you got some other good tag, like you said, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
They use the Raiders, but they use the Raiders in a comedical way at times.
Is what I'm saying. They use them, but that's not.
Todd will never leave that company, buddy.
That's not tag.
That was his dream. That was his dream, and the way that
it has nothing to do with the dream. I'm talking about wrestling itself. Tag team.
I get you.
You know, it's just I would not. I bet you if Todd could say where they could go, I bet you he'd say, well, maybe I'll go try EW if they'll give us a legit tag team push.
See, I think Todd looks at the bigger picture where he's already had back fusion and he's had the neck fusion. And the fact that he's got a great job with the WWE, that he's in line to become an instructor at the Performance Center once his days are done.
No, to each their. I mean, hey, you know, he's there, he's doing it. That's fine. I'm just saying, if I was a tag team and if I wanted to be relevant as a tag team and making my name, you know, for some people it's great. Maybe for Todd, he's happy with that. I just know that if it was me, I don't know. I mean, at 45 years old, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm good. But I think, if I was in my 30s, you know, and I could do it, and let's say it was me and fucking Mike, I'd be like, Mike, let's not fucking do this gimmick here. They're wasting our fucking talent. You know, but for some people, like you said, it's good for some. Just, coming from a fan's perspective and coming from, say, like a writing perspective, like a booking perspective, it's terrible.
Yeah. They're being wasted. I agree.
You know, especially watching them 5 years ago and what they did 5 years ago compared to now. But how's about so what do you guys think? What do you think about Sasha Banks? No word, no nothing. And do you think she stays on SmackDown? Do you think she goes Raw? Do you think that my prediction comes eventually to fruition when she asked for that release?
Kind of funny how she just resigned.
She did?
Yeah.
Then she kept the money. So can't blame her there.
And then two different comments from two different viewers both said that she does almost every day on Twitter. She thanks Vince McMahon. So those two people would find it hard for her to just leave WWE.
Considering
her husband works for WWE.
Mike said she just resigned that she ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
I know her husband does all the
ring gear.
Yeah.
She's staying. She's not going anywhere.
So did she go to Raw or did she stay on SmackDown?
She was on SmackDown last night, but there was no draft choice for her yet.
That's what I'm wondering. Did she go Raw or did she stay SmackDown now that Charlotte's back on Raw? I mean, SmackDown.
She'll probably go to Raw.
Well, Bianca Belair on Raw. Do they keep Sasha on SmackDown? What makes more sense? Because Becky's gone. Becky's going to Raw. Becky's staying on Raw. Well, Becky's going to be on Raw.
It all depends on who wins the title on Crown Jewel.
Who what?
Who wins the title on Crown Jewel?
Do you really see them pulling the title off Becky?
They could. I mean, they only put the title on her on SummerSlam for that shock value. That's all I believe. Just to try to compete with AEW. Yeah. I mean, she was gone for how long after having a kid? She was gone for almost
a year and a half.
Yeah.
2 years, yeah.
She's in tremendous shape too. Her gimmick was hilarious on Friday night. Love her gimmick.
Hey, by the way, somebody told me that fucking Mandy Rose was pregnant. She doesn't look too pregnant to me.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I guess it was wrong.
Yeah, she looks phenomenal with the dark hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think she looks great. I love the
Yeah.
new look.
What do you
Is
think
that
of the new NXT? Have you watched the? Have you watched?
No, not real. I'm not thrilled with it. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. It's like it was. I thought the black and gold made it look more like what it was. I feel like what they're trying to do is make, like, you know, WWE minor league again. Trying to make it look minor league, even though the talent and story writing is. I don't know. I'm just not crazy with it.
Yeah,
She's
I
not
hear
ready
you.
to move up. I don't think someone else is ready to move up.
I hear you,
Gonzalez ain't ready
Capelli.
for it. She too green.
Oh,
I hear you,
Raquel
Capelli.
Gonzalez is too green to go up right now.
Yeah, I hear you, Capelli. When you see black and gold, you think championship, prestige. You think
yes.
like it's something you want to watch and something you
Yep.
want to look for. And then this splash stuff, I don't know. I
Look.
think they're trying to they're gearing it more to the younger generation. I guess.
Well, here's the thing. The way I look at it is, the WWE goes by colors. Raw is the red brand. Blue is SmackDown. Gold was NXT. Now it's, no, we're going to look like we're coming from Miami Beach. I don't get it. I'm just not crazy on it. I think it's just too much, but it is what it is. I don't know. Not crazy. I'm not sold on it. I still don't buy Samoa Joe's injury. I personally feel that it was them trying to say, "Oh, we're gonna go in a new direction," but who knows?
You're right. He wasn't hurt.
I didn't think so. I didn't think he was.
He's gonna end up on Raw.
I don't get why they split the New Day up. I thought it would have been better with Big E with Kofi, but
again,
it's dumb. It was dumb. They don't know what they're doing. I'm sorry. They just don't. I definitely think they need to split up Omos and AJ. I think that gimmick's it's run its course. I think you have Omos turn on AJ and he gets drafted and that's the end of it. Problem is, there's no one for Omos to work with. What would be great is if Omos went to SmackDown. If Omos went to SmackDown and joined the Bloodline as like Roman's muscle, that I think would be pretty cool. But if they'll probably send AJ. You really can't. You have to kind of leave AJ on Raw now if you think about it, because he's really one of the true only star powers there.
Well, they're gonna just from what I think is gonna happen. They're gonna bring a lot of NXT guys to Raw.
Who do you think they're gonna bring to Raw from NXT?
Probably Gargano. They'll probably bring Loomis up.
See that?
Who else? They're not gonna bring Steiner's kid up just yet.
No way.
No.
Yeah,
the guy that they should have brought up, but they can't now, is Tommaso. Tommaso would be great on Raw.
Right, but he already came out and said that he doesn't really want to go because of his injuries.
Yeah,
so.
I don't blame him. But
he was, I'd rather retire than go to the main roster.
The thing is, the funny thing is you actually wrestle more in NXT than you do on Raw, because Raw it's a 7-minute match versus NXT or the.
He doesn't want the travel. NXT's not traveling right now.
Yeah, I know. Can't blame him. I don't blame him, but I think that he'd make better sense there. I think Edge is obviously this is it. This is Edge's. I would assume last year or two for Edge.
Yeah. Well, he signed a 3-year deal, so
yeah. I mean, as far as active in ring, I'm sure Edge will stick around after that.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see what the next, what they do with Seth. I mean, Becky's got to. It really depends, like you said, if Becky keeps the title of Crown. Well, no, because they're going to have to draft now. They have to draft her Monday, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with Becky and Seth.
You're going to see Walter actually either at SmackDown or Raw, because it came out that he's moving to the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, they talked him into it. So I could see him with the Imperium probably on Raw. I mean, they
need to see that.
Raw needs help.
Yes.
Raw needs help. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of these NXT guys that are ready to go up could help Raw. I think Gargano could help Raw. I think Walter could definitely help Raw. I would love to see a feud between Walter and Big E. That would be amazing.
Yes.
I just want to see Walter chop the shit out of him. That's all I want to see.
So yeah, the question is, I guess, does what happened? Obviously, Big E and Bobby Lashley are going to start a feud. It's all. I mean, you can see it.
Well, they ruined it by putting Kofi and Woods on SmackDown. If they kept them on Raw, that would be a huge feud between the Hurt Business and freaking.
Yeah, and what's with the Hurt Business miraculously back together? I mean,
well, that came out. That came out a couple of weeks ago. They were talking about putting them back together, and they just did it.
Lame. You know what tag team I do like? The cousins there, Hector Garza and Humberto. Yeah, I like how they acknowledge, like, well, they are family. Forgetting that they had an amazing feud for a couple of weeks.
That they did.
And
then
the
Lucha House Party asked for the release.
I saw that. Yeah, I don't blame them. I mean, I'll be surprised if Drew Gulak isn't next either.
They originally released him, and then Daniel Bryan begged them to bring him back, and they're using him in the same gimmick.
When they bring back Drake Maverick to the main roster,
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I just noticed that he's back doing the same gimmick.
And why is Riddick Moss all of a sudden with Happy Corbin?
Because Riddick Moss was the guy that they talked about. He did a gimmick, and then he tore his ACL. What was the gimmick that he did? He did something.
There used to be the football gimmick with the other football guy.
He did the gimmick with Mojo Riley.
He did, yep.
Yeah, then he tore his ACL. I don't know why they're doing. They ruined the Corbin gimmick. It's done.
Yeah, they did. Happy Corbin.
I agree.
That's stupid.
You heard that TNA passed that Buddy Murphy too, right?
Yeah, I saw that. They weren't happy with Buddy Murphy. They said, "Now we're good."
Yeah, and so
he'll go to Impact.
And so then AEW.
Well, he'll go to Impact. I bet. You see, Christopher Daniels returned.
Yep.
To Impact.
Yeah.
This past Thursday.
Yep. And then Mick Foley is presenting something's telling me something's up with Mick. And I think he's going to do some gimmick with John Moxley because he's presenting the title to the winner of Moxley and Cage at GCW.
Well,
people forget. I think that they forget that him and Mick did a gimmick on the internet where they were years ago when he was Dean Ambrose before he came up to the main roster. You guys remember that shit?
No.
Yeah, he did something with Mick, and they were going back and forth on Twitter against each other. This was, kind of when he was just kind of breaking in. He was an indie star at the time. But him and Mick did something years ago.
Well, Foley said he wants to wrestle one more time.
I can see it coming against Ambrose for sure.
Yeah, he tweeted out, said, I would wrestle one more time in the right situation.
Yeah, then they got to be setting something up with Ambrose because they announced it. They said, "Oh, Mick Foley is going to be presenting the title." It was all over Twitter to the winner of Moxley and Cage at the GCW show.
When is that?
I don't know. It's got to be soon.
Yeah,
I think it's this month.
And end of the month, the debut of Wyatt Wyndham or Wyatt Rotunda or whatever the fuck he's going to call himself.
I don't know, man.
He's not going AEW.
I really believe right now that could be the key cog that shows up at Monday Night Raw.
Not happening.
He's not going AEW. They're afraid of his supposedly quote unquote Tony Khan said on Buster Open Radio that the higher ups are afraid of his crazy creative things that he wants to do.
I honestly think that is all for show. I think that's to build up the fucking thing. Well, I think too many people know he was going to go. My opinion only, just an opinion. To me, that's a ploy. That's feeding the dirt sheets and everything, and saying that to say, "Oh, I don't know." So when it does happen, it's a bigger oh, is he gonna go? Is he not going? He's not going. He is going. He's not going. And then he shows up, and you're like, ah.
Well, he's fucking with the fans big time because he was
Yeah.
tweeting out pictures of him in the WWE again.
Well, you gotta remember, he's still under a 90-day fucking. He's still under the 90-day thing. So
He's
they
still
own
getting
his
paid.
Twitter for the next 90 days. Well, whatever, until he's done.
I don't know. We'll
So
see.
it ought to be
But the picture
interesting.
he put out was him with the Wyatt family versus it was him with the Wyatt family versus Daniel Bryan, and I think it was
The Usos.
the Usos. You got a link. Well, you got the Wyatt family, you got Eric Rowan, and you got fucking Daniel Bryan on, and something tells me that's more. I still think October 20, that Rampage, you'll see him on television on that Rampage.
Full Gear, 29th.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, the full gear. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that's when he shows up.
We'll see.
I think he shows up. I think I think you'll see it. I think you'll see a big thing with the Dark Order. All of a sudden, fucking lights go out and boom, and next thing you know, he's there, and they're like bowing, and he's in charge of the Dark Order.
The 29th, their pay-per-view is on a Thursday.
No,
29th is a Friday.
29th is a Friday, so that's Saturday, the 30th.
Yeah, the 30th.
Wow, how
I'm
come they're
sorry.
doing a pay-per-view on a Friday? Full Gear.
Full Gear is on Friday, right? It's on the 29th, right? Or is it on Saturday?
Well, I just know that the 22nd is
I know. So
Friday.
his 90 days is up to 29th. Full Gear's then the following day.
The
Oh, so that's
30th.
what it is. Oh, yeah. So he's the 29th is a Friday, 30th is a Saturday. Okay, yep.
Because I was going to say the 25th is a Monday because that's the first Monday Night Raw with the new roster.
New rosters, yeah. Well, it's the beginning of the new TV, the new
Wait.
season.
So the draft, they hold the rosters till the 25th.
Yeah, because the 25th is the beginning of the fall season for WWE.
22nd that for SmackDown.
God, stupid.
It's November 13th is Full Gear. That's what I was just told.
All I know is he's able to show up on AEW television officially on the 29th of October. That's when there's official.
Yes, he can show up at the
Rampage.
Rampage. And if you look, Rampage has a different venue for that Friday night.
It'll be interesting to see. I think that's where he goes. He's not. I don't see him come back to WWE, but I think that's where
If USA putting the screws events like they are, then
why not, right?
Yeah, there's a good chance that he might.
I mean, look, I believe everything I've read that those guys fucked him and that he was not happy with the creative. I mean, there's just too much there to not believe it. So,
well, we'll see what happens. They could promise him the world and say we'll give you full control and let him do what he wants to do, and that could bring him back.
but I mean, it does. I mean, it would make. I mean, if they look what they're doing with Malachi Black. I mean, it ain't that. You could fucking do the exact same thing. I mean, they're talking about fucking Ani Innocent has a shirt that has a Glock on the fucking shirt. I mean,
I love that. That's awesome.
me too, but it doesn't. It makes sense. Like, why would they be afraid? That's why I think Tony Khan is pulling up smoke and mirrors to deflect what's really happening because I think he does. It's the element of surprise.
Well, all creative has been pulled from Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks.
I'm not. I don't know what to think about that, to be honest with you. I mean, if it's true that all creative's been pulled from them, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, they are creative in some ways. I mean, I can definitely say Cody didn't get the book and put himself over, which was nice.
Well, he's old school. He was trained the right way.
The Bucks, a little different, but
yeah.
I look at it this way: those guys have no real liquid investment, meaning money-wise. I would love to know what they have invested compared to what Tony Khan has invested for those guys to be executive
Tony
vice.
Khan, it's his father that's invested in the company.
Yeah.
His father gave him $3 million to start the company or something like that.
This way, Tony Khan, he's like whatever he is. He's the president, but his father's technically is the CEO. Father fronts the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the Patriots. Robert Kraft's the owner, but look at Jonathan. He's kind of like the president of the operations.
Yeah.
What really cracks me up is that Khan has conversations with Vince McMahon once a month. blew my mind when I heard that.
They're businessmen. I mean, business. That's why I told you. Remember, I said months ago. I'm telling you, Vince. I think Vince has the secret thing where he wants them to get successful. So
Yeah.
I still believe it because that's that mentality. That's that Donald Trump mentality that Vince has.
All
And
right.
he's just waiting to pull the trigger.
So let's just hear
Here
this.
we go. Here we go. Go ahead,
The
Jay.
conspiracy theory, buddy.
I agree with it.
Why not pull out with it? I think this. Why not make AEW powerful? What if Vince really doesn't want to give this company 10 years down the line to Stephanie or Triple H? That he's basically grooming Tony Khan to be him. So that essentially the WWE is therefore purchased by him.
How about I'll go one further? How about WWE kicks in that forbidden door and they have a pay-per-view together?
That would be interesting.
I don't know if you see it.
I was told in high school when I was a kid that Coke and Pepsi are owned by the same people.
That I can confirm that's not true. But here's one. Sorry, I'm just looking for my charger. Here's one that, here's the thing. So you guys all know Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yep.
What I've been told is, and I at one time, this was when they first started. I don't believe it's current now anymore, but at one time, Home Depot and Lowe's was owned by the same family. They were competing brothers.
Yep. I wouldn't doubt it.
It was competing brothers. They have since sold, but they actually started two companies, and it was just competing brothers, but it was they opened two companies to compete against each other, but ultimately to encircle the market, put away the hardware stores, and kind of make a conglomerate between the two of them. I wouldn't be shocked, I really wouldn't be shocked to hear that Shad Khan and Vince are, working behind the fucking scenes to say, all right, Vince is like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna fucking platoon my company for a little while, let you build up, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna make fucking all this money again.
Yeah, Vince is the type of person when he sees a startup wrestling company and all his old wrestlers are starting to go to it and the up and coming indie guys are going to it, he's making a call. He's making a call.
Yeah, he's like a cat playing with a mouse. Eventually, he's just going to fucking smack.
Listen, like I said, I see it quite possibly if 10 years down the road that he's grooming the next owner.
Here's the thing. I don't believe that only because Vince is also very prideful and where, look, you see he still tears up about his fucking father. I don't see Vince. If Vince does keep the company, it doesn't sell, it's going to his family. It's going to go to his daughter and sons and grandkids and whatnot. And if he does sell, he's selling to a conglomerate. He's not selling to he's selling to an NBC or something like that. But I don't buy it.
I look at it this way: Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. By this time, Vince had already owned the WWE. It was 10 years deep at their age.
Vince owned it longer than that. Vince owned it. You got to remember, kid, Jesus Christ. Vince owned the company back in the early.
He's owned it before. It's been under his tutelage for basically a little over 40 years.
More than that, right?
He's owned it. He purchased the company from his father in 1982.
So
it was June 6th. June 6th, my birthday. He purchased it.
82. So yeah, so just over I'm 45, so you figure, that's 39, almost 40 years. Yeah. And Stephanie's
that's why I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah. If Vince owns it another 10, he's well into his 80s. What if by that time Triple H and Stephanie, that the family life for them is just being parents is what they want? Or what if they're just written in to the new ownership where a guy like Tony Khan is a 30-year-old kid learning the billionaire business? Why would it not be a frugal thought for a guy like that to purchase the company with the little written little written stipulations that the McMahons, quote unquote, would still would have their jobs. I don't think it's far fetched.
Just don't. I think it's fine. I think, don't get me wrong. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's a business. Never say never. But it's just a little far fetched on that end, I think. But hey,
what if Vince seeds a little of him in Tony Khan about how like just how was just went from nothing to meet people, to learn the insides, to start his own business, to take money from his old man and come to fruition to make good on the money borrowed from the old man. It's a lot like, in a way, it's the new age written of Vince McMahon from, you know what I mean?
No, I know. I think it's you got to remember it's Vince McMahon. As much as he is a businessman, he's also very competitive.
I understand that. 10 years down the road, he's in his 80s. He may not be as competitive.
Yeah, I've said this before. If Vince doesn't have the ego he has, there wouldn't be the WWE there is today.
Yes, I get it.
And here's the thing, Jay. Jerry Jones ain't giving to the fucking Eagles just to make that division better. No fucking way.
No, I don't compare it to Jerry Jones giving it up to the Eagles, but I do give it to the point where Vince McMahon, looking at a true trendsetter and a guy with a lot of the same business aspects that young Tony Khan has picked up. So I don't think that, like, I'm just saying, it's never say never. Like you said, what's to say that Tony Khan 15 years from now isn't purchasing the WWE while Vince McMahon on 90-something years old or whatever he is just can't do it no more?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Vince selling that company to them. It would go to listen, Stephanie, their family is raised in the business. They're adjusted now. They're not leaving the business. That's Hunter. That's life, kid. Come on, you got to think realistically here. They're already raising a family in the business.
I get it. I listen.
I
get it. But what's to say the 10 to 15 years that they're not burnt out from this just as well? That they could make the same amount of money to be on the board, but another guy is footing the bill, but you're still getting a lucrative payout.
I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. That last name, that family, they're too competitive.
What do you think, Mike?
I don't see it either, to be honest with you. I really see Triple H and Stephanie taking over in the next 5 years.
I hope so. But I'm just looking at, listen, it's a talk show. Why not?
No, I understand where you're coming from. And I get your conspiracy theory. I mean, I would love to see them actually work together and
love that.
My thing is
do a Survivor Series. Do a Survivor Series pay-per-view with AEW versus WWE and let the boys in WWE actually freaking wrestle.
Yeah. I guess my whole thing is that if Vince was to ever let the company go, I would hope that it went to a guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes wrestling the same way that Vince McMahon does. And I believe that a young Tony Khan is that type of dude. That's all.
But you really can't say Vince is eat, sleep, and wrestling right now because he's not. Because his product, Raw, is horrible.
I seem to believe that Capelli's theory, to a certain extent, is right. That they vanillaed the programming, and over the past few weeks, even though you're calling it scared booking, so to speak, because of the trend-setting booking that AEW is doing, that they've basically micro-booked their show to make it interesting. And I believe that the WWE, to a certain extent, with this Raw and SmackDown draft, I believe that this could be the interesting point that we were all looking for, that gives the WWE that proverbial kick in the ass to bring back their Monday night programming.
I hope so, because
opportunity to bring it back with Roman Reigns, and they dropped the ball.
Well, maybe they see something different.
That Roman Reigns will be on Raw.
I did. I say, listen, I'm a man. I told you, like I said to you, Mike, dog's gonna shine. The sun's gonna shine on a dog's ass once.
Yeah, and it's very rare when the sun shines on your ass. So
The sun shine on your ass.
yeah.
I think that this is just my way. I think that Seth Rollins goes to Vince McMahon and says, okay, you have Omega O'Brien and Daniel Bryan along with CM Punk. I'm better than all of them. Let me take the flag. Let me go to Monday Night Raw and show them who truly is the best wrestler in the world.
Well,
I agree with that.
I
like that.
I totally agree with that because
Like that.
honestly, Rollins is way better than all three of them.
That's listen, when you want to say Roman this or that, Seth Rollins, and we all know it because
Just stop doing this stupid gimmick and go back to being.
buddy,
Seth
I love
Rollins.
this, buddy. I love the new gimmick. I love the blazes. I love it. I love the new gimmick.
Hear me out on this. Now, there's a reason why the Seth Rollins Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast was aired recently and why he was next. Because be prepared, you're going to eventually see a Seth Rollins face turn. It's going to happen. It's coming.
I like the heel Seth Rollins. I
Because
truly
you
do.
saw the real side of Seth Rollins. You saw the human side. You saw the likable side. You know, you didn't see the character, and people are going to feed off of it. Trust me when I tell you. Everything's done for a reason there. There's a reason why it was done. Look at Randy Orton. Randy Orton all of a sudden became a face shortly after his interview with Stone Cold, and
Sasha Banks was so heelish.
Yes, and she.
Okay.
See what I mean, you get what I'm saying?
I get you. I smell what the Capelli's cooking.
I just think think you got to see that. Look, the best thing they can do right now, and it's unfortunate, is let Big E let him hold the title for about a month or two. Let him drop it. Bring Seth over there. The problem is everyone knows Seth's with Becky. You know, they knows their family.
Why not make them a power couple?
But they'd have to be a heel to be a power couple.
Well, I think they could face in power couple too. You just have another power couple in there.
Listen, you just turned Becky heel.
Yeah, that's what wrestling is. I get it. I look at it this way. This is why I want to finish on the Seth Rollins point here. They were very high on Seth Rollins when he came up. The thing that brought the thing down on Seth Rollins is he got injury prone at that beginning of his career every time they put a title on him. And then their mind, all the WWE creative and the big people, their minds had to get settled on, can Seth Rollins stay healthy? Seth Rollins has stayed healthy. And I believe now is the time for the potential of him being a flag bearer for this company can fully happen with the big hole that Monday Night Raw has.
Well, all right. So if he turns face, who's the major heel?
Exactly. Right now, who's the major heel on Raw?
Because if you put him in the ring with Bobby Lashley in all reality should kill that kid.
Yep.
So who's the heel?
But he survived against Brock Lesnar.
True. And the thing is he's the architect. But who is the major heel? Mike's right. Who's the major heel on Raw?
That's why if they should have did it, they should have turned the New Day and made them into the brand new Hurt Business, led by MVP.
Yeah. Well, supposedly he'll be back in another week. That's what the rumor is.
You can make a position or a suggestion to make Sheamus the main heel.
No, Sheamus doesn't have that kind of star power.
He could. I think he could.
I don't
give him the ball. Give him the ball. Sheamus could.
I think Sheamus is a good top heel right now in the WWE.
The person that could be the major heel is on SmackDown, and that's McIntyre.
Yep.
Thank you. But they won't do it because Vince is in love with him.
Yep.
Or we just need to see what the Bearcat is all about.
Well, I'll tell you right now, there's from what it looks like, they're going to push him to the moon. And he deserves it after all the bullshit he went through with COVID and everything. They stuck by him. I guarantee you that kid's going to get pushed and pushed hard.
His squash match was real. I thought that squash match with him was great.
Yep. No
Hey,
emotion.
did anybody catch the match between Sasha and Bianca when Bianca went to gave her the press slam and almost killed Sasha and dropped her on her face?
It almost did it to Bianca. Dropped on
Hey,
Sasha, got dropped on her head.
Yes.
Like,
She
almost
went
right
to
down
do
on
the
her head.
press slam and she couldn't get her up and she just fell.
listen, when it comes to females, I'm gonna miss my girl for the next couple of months while she's out getting sinus surgery.
Oh.
Alexa, that's why she's written on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Getting surgery on her sinuses.
Yeah, everyone goes, oh, the rumors, oh, she's leaving to go to AEW.
No.
Shut the
Getting
fuck
sinus.
with that. She just signed. Like, shut up.
All right, boys, I gotta get off this thing. My phone's gonna die.
It's all right. Capelli, it was good having you on, buddy.
I'll be on. I'll try to get on next week.
Next week,
Capelli.
buddy. Next Saturday.
All right.
Yeah, I just make a quick announcement here. I'm going to have a book published in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Good for you. Congratulations.
And it has a lot to do with soccer, so I'll get a hold of you because you're a big soccer guy, aren't you?
Yeah, my kid broke. We're in the process of finding out whether or not she broke her nose or not. We played.
I saw that on Facebook.
I'll be talking to
Wait.
her. I'll let you know the book you can get on Amazon, so I'll let you know about it.
I'm the PA announcer for soccer games up at the school right now.
Yeah, she went up. She was playing great. She plays center mid, and she made a great header on the ball. And it was a bang bang. She made the header and went go forward, and the girl came up right on her. So came up into her face and caught it right here. I mean, she already broke her nose once and had surgery to fix it. I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed, that she didn't break it again. We find out hopefully Tuesday. If she did,
if she got headbutted by you, she definitely would have broke it.
Oh, here we fucking go. Listen, go dye your fucking beard.
My beard's not done, bitch.
Hey,
Don't be jealous. Don't hate the game.
Look at you with your fucking shirt on. You look like you're directing traffic over there.
It's a Harley Davidson shirt there, brother.
All right, boys.
Bye, dum dum.
Later, dum-dums.
Money talks, bullshit walks, and Kazoo said he could take that to the bank.
I love breaking his balls. He did so fucking vegan.
All right, boys. I think we've covered just about enough here, and
That big forehead of his got all red when I said that.
it's been a great show tonight.
Real quick topic. We were talking about, you had mentioned the Dudley Boys.
Yes.
WWE recently offered Bubba Ray a backstage role as a producer for Raw, and he turned it down.
Saw that too.
Yep.
Wow.
They wanted him to work with Triple H, and he said no. He's happy doing his radio show.
Wow.
He gets paid well by XM Radio, so I can see why. And he still wants to wrestle, so
Yes, he does.
I can see that.
Is Devon still backstage with the WWE?
Devon is supposedly going to be Triple H's right hand man when he takes over Raw.
Okay. I'd love to see Paul Heyman take over Raw writing.
They tried that and they didn't like what he was doing because he went from the usual being pushed to the unusual being pushed. And
And the crowd loved it.
Yep.
And Vince didn't like that.
Nope.
Yeah.
The problem with WWE is Vince needs to stop. He needs to retire and let Triple H take over like he's supposed to and just stop.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Anybody
All right,
heard from the Dog King at all?
What's that?
Haven't you heard from Fingers at all?
No, I didn't. I seen he posted. I would have expected that he would have came on tonight to talk a little bit about the draft.
I do believe today was a day that he had his leg amputated. So
all right. So today is a day that he's probably just
because I talked to him over on Facebook a couple like the beginning of last week, and he said it was coming up. So
that sucks.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, me too, man.
But it's better than putting him down, though. You know what I mean?
That's right. Especially she's already used to walking on 3 legs.
Yep. Kind of like Pelly over here. We could have brought him out back and shot him like Old Yeller, but
he's rehabbing.
I'll be walking a bit next Friday. I'll be walking.
The best will be when you get a new scenery and not that fucking goddamn torture headboard that looks like it's been used for.
I know. I'm waiting for you to show up being tied up and you're being filmed.
with the gag ball in his mouth. Mm, mm, mm.
It reminds me of that movie Misery.
Yes.
I'm waiting for a lady to come in with the block and the sledgehammer.
Oh, and he has to lay there for two more months.
Oh my God, we're awful. We're so bad.
Have you ever seen the movie Misery?
I know with it's a Stephen King book.
Yeah, good watch it because the
Good
same
watch.
bed's in it.
Kathy Bates is awesome in it.
You need to watch that movie because you'll be out of that bed in 2 seconds.
You'll be like, wow, that headboard really does look like the one I have.
I've seen Kathy Bates before because they made a movie down where I grew up in Stonehurst.
Okay.
It was called Dolores Claiborne.
Okay.
And Stephen King wrote that book too. And they made
I remember the movie well.
Jed, did you find a new place to live yet?
Been moving the past 2 weeks, brother.
Where'd you move to?
I moved 3 miles away from my house. Nice little place.
Renting or
I'm renting for right now. I'm with my taxes. I'm getting my septic and my well put in. I have a bulldozer coming in April so that I have my property is ready to either roll a double wide or a prefab on it.
go with the double wide. They're nice.
Yeah.
Then we can call you Hillbilly J.
Buddy, it's all good.
I'm just busting you, dude.
It's all good.
It sucks that you gotta move.
It's a big 2-bedroom right now, and my kids have been sleeping in the same room. Like they don't care.
Yeah, well, no, hey, it is what it is. I get it.
So like
you gotta do what you gotta do.
My daughter, even though she had her own bedroom, she used to sleep on the top bunk of my son's bed every night.
Yeah. Well, because they got to protect each other.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be.
That's the way they look at it that way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, things are good. I got my neighbor, the people who own the property. The grandfather lives in front of us. He has a 4-wheeler, so my son's gotten 4-wheeler rides all week.
There you go.
You know, the old guy loves it because there's a couple little kids.
It works. It works.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy. I got my half-court basketball put up, and I'm about to order street hockey stuff so I can start slapping pucks at my son.
How's the job going?
Job's great, dude.
62 hours I put in this week.
Working killer hours. Well, between sports and everything, I probably did around 55 this week. But then again, there's days where I punch out and I still stay in the gym for an hour and a half because I don't want to kick kids out and like that's such an oxymoron to kick them out from exercising.
No, I hear you.
And I just put my TV on and sit in my office and like not even correct homework because I really don't have homework. I just have daily workout planners.
I never would thought I would see the day that Jason the Weed Rumble would be a teacher.
Yeah, can I tell you, Mike?
It blows my mind.
It's this doing what I do is like being a giant personal trainer. And I write an assignment on the board, a preferred workout, a daily preferred workout, a preferred warm up, and a preferred ab blaster. Whether or not they want to do it, that's their thing. I grade them upon the workbook that I see at the end of the week.
Now, when you're getting back in the ring,
after the winter, I believe. Yeah, I believe so. I'm hoping that that the heat of the negativity of the shit talking about me has died down so that I can actually wrestle and people can actually believe that the stupidity that was mentioned about me was never true to begin with.
Well, I do have to say that Brian Fury showed his face at APW last month. So yeah. I'm sure you and his was true. I'm sure yours, you should be all right.
Yep.
So on this closed network, I'm going to make a little announcement. I might be buying APW.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
When
Joe Moakley needs to go, and I might be buying.
Well, if I don't wrestle, I would love to come and help you write a book.
Okay.
And if you have when Mike, when the borders open, I can get a carload of Canadians to come down.
All right. It's not set in stone yet. I'm still talking. I am going to have a partner, Michael Morris, and eventually I'm going to buy him out, and I'll have it myself.
Wow.
It's always been a dream of mine. You know that since
I know that, man. I've been working out 3 days, about 3 days a week, and when my wife and kids say Daddy's belly's going down, I know that it's working.
Well, I'll tell you right now, since I started my new job, I've dropped 15 pounds in a month and a half.
Right now, I'm at a standstill at 200 pounds.
Yeah, well, me too. I hit that plateau, so
I'm at a standstill 200.
Yeah.
So, and I'm working hard. I just think that, I'm at a plateau at 200. I believe that if I can get one down to 190, I'll be happy.
Yeah, my wife, and I've noticed it looking in the mirror, but like my cheekbones are starting to come back out. My jawline's coming back, so things are going good.
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed. I don't got the double beard.
Yeah. So yeah, things are going pretty good. I'm
the
working
double
my
beard
ass off,
underwear that I couldn't wear 6 weeks ago, I can wear again.
God, I love you.
And I sound less like Bull Montana in the morning when I'm putting my socks on.
I love you, Jay. You're awesome. Dude, as soon as I saw Roman Reigns got drafted to SmackDown, I was all over that.
I knew it. And then when I seen that post,
I thought it too.
I seen your post. Gee.
You knew it was coming. He knew
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, he knew it was coming.
So,
well, it's good that we do it once a week because I would not be able to do it during the week. Like literally, Wednesday, I didn't get home until 9:00. Wow. I put in like 15 hours.
The show is a legitimate wrestling talk show.
Yeah.
If things were that good and they caught our eyes on the program, I mean, like I said, the one thing that stuck out on wrestling this week was watching Bianca Belair mess up the power slam there over the head press and almost dropping Sasha Banks on her head.
Well, if you notice, she got a receipt for that right away.
Yes, I did.
Well, it happens. Yeah. I mean, you can't say that WWE is not the business, but I would love for them to start saying they're wrestlers instead of superstars. Because, do you know what I mean? And I get where Vince is going. It's world wrestling entertainment. I understand that. But when you boil it down to, you're still a worker. You're still in the wrestling business.
Mike, I really hope for the day that they start to say professional wrestling again. Yes. I would enjoy that a lot. Unfortunately, even must kill Pat McAfee to say that.
And they love Pat McAfee.
Bro, Pat McAfee's the best announcer in the game right now. I love watching his energy.
Everyone's like, oh, he's just a football player wanting to be a wrestler. No, he was born to be in this business.
Yep.
Born to be in it.
This will be his 6th thing that he'll make $1 million in.
Yep.
So, all right, boys. I think that we've covered it all. We said a lot. Let's see what happens this week in pro wrestling, and we'll all be back here next Saturday night at 8 p.m., streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Any parting things, boys?
Nope. Let's just hope it gets. Let's see what happens on Monday night, the draft, and see who gets pulled up.
Yep. What do you have to say, AJP?
I'm gonna be hopefully walking on Friday. I'm working on this book that hopefully I'll be published in a couple of weeks.
Get the fuck out of that bed. Jesus Christ. Just looking at that freaking iron headboard. It reminds me of my grandmother's house. Holy crap.
Live from the set of Misery, Adam Jackpelli. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody who's possibly going to watch this program on the retune or the repeat, however we say that in television world. Tomorrow, biggest game in the NFL, the Patriots versus the Buccaneers. Please, God, I hope the Patriots win, and that I'm cursing this Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey to all ends.
Well, if Mac Jones plays like he played last week, they're going to get slaughtered.
Yes, agreed. They need an offensive line to show up.
Yep.
So, all right, everyone, for the BBB, for APOC, for AJP, we'll see you next Saturday live at 8 p.m. streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Peace out. Deuces high, biatches.